And I'm going to point this question directly at our heavy on 49ers beat writer, Lorenzo Reyna. Sir,
yes,
who the 49ers fans owe the most thanks to for their playoff berth? Because things didn't always look as if they'd be playing in that second season. So if you had to pick somebody and say it's this guy, who would you go with?
For the season or for yesterday?
For the playoff berth, period, overall.
Oh, for the playoff berth? All right, this is going to be a surprise pick. I'm going to go with Sean McVay. He is the guy that 49er fans are probably going to send a thank you card to. And here's the reason why. He went straight lunatic on the last touchdown before halftime. Like, just runs out and he's trying to celebrate with Tyler Higbee and all his guys. Guess what happened after that? The 49ers outscored the Rams 27-7, and time again. Kyle Shanahan, for all the flack that he gets, he finds a way to outcoach and outsmart Sean McVay. The one time that Sean McVay has a W over Kyle Shanahan, it came all the way in Cabo, San Lucas, when he pilfered Matthew Stafford. But, you know, in the second half, it's like the Rams were trying to be so reliant on the running game. I felt like they only threw the football to Cooper Kupp like 3 times. And, I mean, the 49ers already predicted what they were going to do. And then Kyle Shanahan started getting into his bag in the second half. So I feel like that it's Sean McVay that really jinxed it for the Rams. But I feel like the 49ers faithful, they're going to be sending him some Hallmark cards.
Wow. Sean McVay is the one that deserves the most, I guess the most credit because he saved
the 49ers season. That's how I look at it. He saved the 49ers season.
That is a unique take, sir. What about you, Ryan? What would you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a different Ram. I'm going to go with Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. So I'm going to go with other for this question. Look, like he got bamboozled by Kyle Shanahan the second half. I mean, you brought up Sean McVay. I agree. He looked very conservative in the second half, but Raheem Morris had no answer with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey has a stellar front four. They looked invisible against the Rams offensive line. And I got to say, man, not Rams, 49ers offensive line. I mean, Raheem Morris, I think, deserves a lot of blame. I mean, for a first-year defensive coordinator, coming from the Atlanta Falcons last year, I mean, I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at a lot of fans, putting out their displeasure over Raheem Morris, wanting him fired. I mean, you saw Black Monday today, the amount of guys that got fired. But, I mean, the 49ers, I got to give credit to Jimmy G. I usually am a hater when it comes to Jimmy G. And I still think he's painfully average. And let's not forget, he got 3 turnovers compared to 1 touchdown on Sunday. But I got to say, he put on his big boy pants and he delivered in the fourth quarter. I mean, this cannot happen if you're Raheem Morris, a guy that has a fractured finger, and he pretty much got schooled by Jimmy G and Shanahan. So I got to say, Raheem Morris, you got to step it up on Monday against Arizona with a team that does not have Hopkins as well.
That's interesting. He didn't actually have 3 turnovers. He had 2 turnovers. The fumble he had was not a fumble lost. So he only had the 2 turnovers.
Right. But he lost the ball 3 times. I think that's what he meant.
No, he didn't. He didn't say that. He said he had 3 turnovers.
I meant it. He got lucky, Jimmy G, with that, but I'll give him that.
That's what he said. We just want to be straight with what we're saying here.
I'm just saying.
What do you say about these Niners?
I'll say this. I'm going to give the old tip of the cap to Brandon Ayuk from the doghouse to the crib. This guy couldn't get on the field. So talented, high expectations heading into this year. Led the 49ers in receiving in this game, and in particular, all season long. You had Deebo Samuel, the versatile weapon of mass destruction, but in particular, it was Brandon Ayuk, who, again, at the beginning of the year, he couldn't find his way on the field. What did he do wrong? Whose cereal did he piss in? We still don't know. But the fact of the matter is that Brandon Ayuk is the straw that stirs the drink for this team, and he's a guy that got it done. So why don't we give a tip of the cap to Mr. Ayuk?
I hear that. He did have a solid game. I think you might also be overlooking Jawan Jennings, who actually had 2 touchdowns in the game and just as many receptions as Ayuk. Also had, the second longest reception of the game behind Deebo Samuel's 43-yard completion. But I'm going with none of those people. And you want to talk about going outside of the box. It's really not outside of the box. It's actually right in the box. I'm going to go with previously much maligned and controversial offensive line coach Chris Forster. Now, Chris Forster was a really hot name at one point, but he got into some sort of a scandal where he was supposedly seen on video snorting a white substance into his nose. So it really dimmed and slowed down what would have been probably a rise up into a head coaching position.
Good Lord.
But all of that aside, his ability to commandeer a running game in just about every situation, I think has been great for his overall career. It just shows him as how brilliant of a football mind the guy actually has. And if you look at one of the most, I'd say the most consistent aspect of the 49ers offensive attack and what has helped to take some pressure off of Garoppolo, as well as a rookie quarterback in Trey Lance, who's started some key games for them this year, is their ability to run the football. And I think if you look at what the 49ers have done across that offensive line, it doesn't get enough credit what they've done. If you just look at them, period, they have been a very steady team on the ground. 2,166 yards on the ground this year, which is good for 7th in the NFL. That is the biggest reason. And getting all of this out of Elijah Mitchell, it all starts up front. It all starts obviously with the players, but the leadership that they've gotten from Chris Forster, to me, I think he's the guy, the unsung hero, the under the radar guy, and he's the one that I'm giving the most credit for them.
And keep in mind too, they went without Trent Williams as well, so there's that follow up as well.
Yes. So I that he's my guy for that.